Welcome to the UTS Student Insight Series. We are delighted to continue our series on World Science Day and hope to inspire you towards a career in science and math. I'm Kelly, and today I will be taking you through my journey to becoming a math and statistics student, and I will be taking all of your questions at the end. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation upon whose ancestral lands our city campus now stands. I would also like to pay respect to the elders, both past and present, acknowledging them as the traditional custodians of knowledge for this land. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during today's webinar, please type them into the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel, and I will do my best to answer the questions along the way. If you have a question someone else has asked and would like it answered, please use the upvoting tool, which is the little thumbs up next to the question. Being an online event, do bear with us if there are any technical issues. We will work to resolve them quickly. If you are not able to access the talk at any point, please log out and log back in again, as that usually resolves such issues. This session will be recorded, but we will not be recording any video or audio input from the audience. You may contact UTS at science.future@uts.edu.au to discuss any concerns or questions you have. Let us begin from my journey at UTS. I'm a student studying Bachelor of Science, majoring in Mathematics and Statistics. 2021 is my final year for this degree, and I wish to get into the field of research after I graduate, so I can connect my mathematics and statistic knowledge with behavioral economics. I am also a Sprout, so a student representative for the science faculty, and that's why I'm speaking with you all here today. A bit more about my high school life. For my subject selection in year 11, I did Advanced English, Extension 1 Mathematics, or you call it 3-unit math, Economics, Chemistry, and Japanese beginners. Apart from English that was compulsory to select, everything else was chosen based on my interest. So I loved all of my subjects, and HSC was not very intense for me. These subjects also allowed me to figure out my academic strength and interest. They helped me a lot in university. Math has become my major, and both economics and chemistry has made up of my sub-major, or you call it elective subjects. Studying math at UTS isn't just numbers and equations. What I like the most about studying math at UTS is that the course offers a nice balance between applied math and pure math. I've given a few examples here. We have pure math subjects such as linear algebra, discrete mathematics, and differential equations. Also the practical ones, such as introduction to optimization, regression and linear models, and complex analysis, which allows you to learn more applied math. Academics here teaches more about the application of math. Many real-life examples are given based on the theory explained. This is very beneficial for students, and I've learned a lot from the real-life scenarios. An example of how our subjects teach you the practical side of math. Here is a project that I did for a subject called Sample Survey. Our survey was based on smartphones, and our aim is to reach out to respondents with different genders, upbringings, and age. And we want to investigate how different factors change people's preference. Most of our survey would be distributed in the form of Google Form and will be emailed randomly to UTS staff and students. The advantage would be that all responses are random and unbiased. Disadvantage would be that, firstly, Google Form does not have the interface for ranking questions. Hence, it limits the type of questions asked. Hence, affect our results, also affect our analysis, so making the whole experiment slightly inaccurate. Secondly, it may flood people's email inbox. That may result in missed important emails for the respondents. Also, our email might just go to the junk mail straight away. So a waste of effort. Our solution was, firstly, use multi-grid options. Not ideal, since respondents can input the same rank for multiple variables. So what is multiple grid option? On Google form, like when you ask a question, like, do you like Macca's? And number 1 means, yes, I like it a lot. Number 2 means, I do like it, but not so much. Number 3, maybe like I'm on the fence, and so on, like 4, 5, 6. That's called multi-grid options. And our second solution for flooding of email inbox is to designated receivers for respondents to send completed surveys to. So we already know who will be answering this. This makes the survey not so much unbiased. So it becomes like a biased result. For us, we have another option. Some survey will also be distributed in person at various buildings throughout UTS. Disadvantage would be that it's high consumption of time because people need to stand at different buildings, physically hand out the survey. Also, higher cost, it becomes a higher cost survey because paper costs money, time of the person distributing costs money as well. That's labor. So only a small amount of survey can be distributed this way because the person can only stand there for a while. You can't be there like 24/7. However, the advantage would be that responses are much faster compared to email because you kind of can nag the person to finish your survey on the spot. Like, it's not good, but like you can always force them, right? After we take the survey, we use IBM SPSS as our analytical tool. Of course, there are many other great tools that you can choose from, but we chose this one because this is a well-known coding system. So we conducted many different tests, and we also used visualizations such as histogram, pie charts, and bar charts to present the data and the analysis. This project is a great practice, especially if you wish to work with ABS, which is the Australian Bureau of Statistics, or any statistic-related job. Studying math gives you lots of flexibility. For your sub-major or elective, there are many different choices. Advertising principle, science electives, information technology or IT, introductory economics, and also marketing principle. For me, I chose economics as I want to blend my mathematics knowledge with macroeconomics. To be more specific, behavioral economics, just like I mentioned in the beginning. Okay, and an example to show the flexibility. Let's all play a little game here. So this is to show that math is highly implemented in game shows. Hence, it's conveying the idea that you can always blend math with something fun. Math is not just dry and not all about like pure math. So this is the Monty Hall problem, a very classic scenario that you will learn if you come across any study relevant to probability and random variables. Imagine you're on a game show, and the host shows you 3 doors. Behind one of the doors is the Star Prize sports car. Behind the other 2 doors are 2 goats. Now I will blind them. You have no idea which door contains which prize because behind the doors, I will be shuffling them, okay? You are asked to pick a door. Suppose you picked door 1, but before it's opened, the host opens one of the other 2 doors. The host knows where the car is, and he always opens the door with a goat behind it. Now, the host asks you if you wish to swap to another door. The question is, should you stay with your initial choice, door 1, or swap to door 2 or 3? And think about it, does it make a difference if you swap? Does swapping give you a greater chance of winning, or staying with your initial choice give you a greater chance of winning? I'll give you guys a few seconds to think about it and select which door you wish to open in the poll. I will now review the answer. So, okay, most people chose to swap, which means you guys think that there is a difference in swapping, and you guys are correct. Okay, why? Why is that, right? Because you only have a probability of 1/3, so around 33%, that you guess the door right in the first go. So you will think that you lose the car if you switch. However, by Monty choosing one door and by you selecting one door without opening, this actually means that we suppose that the first time you chose the wrong door, and Monty opens another wrong door, so hence you have a probability of 2/3, so 66%, that you got it wrong and picked the good door, and you win if you switch to the car door. So if I say that in a simple way, that by Monty opens a door, he helps you to eliminate one of the wrong answer. Pretty interesting, right? Hope you guys liked that. This is to show that by using decision tree, we can also solve the problem. Okay, so you can do this by hand. And I believe that you should learn this in year 11. And you can also solve it by using MATLAB, so coding. Of course, you can use Python, you can use C++, anything. Okay, any coding instrument. We're not going to dig in today. These stuff is just to show how the same problem can be solved using different methods and different tools, to show you that math is actually very flexible, either in like career choosing or researching, but also in solving the question itself. Like you can use a billion different ways to solve one question. Okay, I exaggerated that, but like many ways. Okay, why I chose math? 4 reasons. Firstly, passion. Nothing moves forward without a bit of passion. I highly encourage everyone to choose a course based on their passion and interest. This will make your study life very, very enjoyable. Secondly, I was good at math back in high school, so I wanted to further develop my personal strength. Thirdly, I am very interested in how math is adapted in different fields, so I want to study math at a tertiary level. Lastly, with the fast development in technology, demand for mathematicians increase, as math is a foundation for technology. This actually opens up a lot of career opportunities. Also, women are less inclined to study STEM subjects at university. As you can see here on my figure, the completion rate for women compared to men are much, much lower. Lots of women currently either don't want to or don't see themselves as being in the STEM-related career. So I wanted to make some contribution myself. As I just mentioned, mathematicians, statistic experts, and data analysts are in high demand worldwide. We are able to work in a wide range of areas, including business, health, economics, engineering, market research, physical sciences, and social sciences. All industry need math. Hence, it's very flexible for you to choose what field you wish to work in. For me, I have planned out 2 pathways. 1, becoming a researcher. 2, to work in an investment bank, either for strategic planning or investment portfolio optimization. On my slide, I have written a few career options. If you are interested, feel free to have a look on the link I provided. Many people ask me, what can you do with math? Well, now you know there are many career options, many job titles. But what does those jobs do? I want to give you all an example of how math is applied in real-life scenario and how close math is to all of you. Traffic lights. are sometimes centrally controlled by computers to allow them to coordinate in real time to deal with changing traffic patterns. Based on the data obtained from various traffic monitoring sensor networks, simulation models are developed. As a side note, we have a subject called simulation modeling that teaches you specifically how to turn your model into like a coding, like into a code. Okay, so by running a simulation model, prediction of traffic evolution can be made, and intersections with highest risk of blockage can be seen. Here comes quantitative management. Quantitative management ensures that both person and freight will be at the right location at the right time by reducing the blockage and adjust the duration of traffic lights. If you're interested, you can always go check out this article called Traffic Lights Management Using Optimization Tool. It's a great article that I found myself that talks about the quantitative management and traffic lights very specifically, okay, done by a very good researcher. Okay, so quantitative management allows you to make models based on different scenarios. Here is a diagram of the procedure. With this, you're able to optimize anything. The procedure is firstly direction. What decisions need to be made? Secondly, problem definition. What question to answer? What to measure? Thirdly, methodology. How to answer the question and how to measure. And lastly, research program. We get the fact from the data and the analysis, and then we answer the question that we have set earlier. So whether it's manufacturing, timetabling, anything you wish to manage and analyze, you can use this procedure. So for manufacturing, for optimization, we can always like maximize the profit or minimize the cost, okay? Again, have a research if you're interested in this. There's a huge industry behind quantitative management. And many jobs out there, and also many research opportunities, okay? All right, a few pro tips from me. Okay, not saying I'm a pro. Firstly, a low ATAR does not mean the course is easy, and that a popular course will have a high ATAR because each course can only take a certain number of students. You should never pick a high ATAR course simply because you have achieved a high ATAR. For example, my ATAR was 92, but my course was only around 77 when I applied for it. A lot of people recommended me to choose something with a higher ATAR. Family, friends, classmates, teachers, literally everyone. But I didn't listen to them because I wanted to do something I am passionate about, not what someone else is passionate about or what your parents or teacher think is good for you, okay? Secondly, the more confident you are in high levels of mathematics in high school, the better your grades will be in science or math course at university. Just because math is a fundamental. It's not just numbers or equations. Math is a language, okay? It allows you to think from a different perspective. Finally, uni is fun. Everything is flexible. You get to decide everything the way you want. My advice would be enjoy the freedom, but also think twice before you make any decision. Here comes the Q&A session. Please type your question into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and I will answer them one by one. Okay. What is it like studying as a female in male-dominated STEM? Okay, so I don't see there's any difference because for my sub-major, I do economics, so I go to business school. That's more like a female-dominated faculty. it's exactly the same. Like my classmates, they're nice. I made a few great friends. They're all male, and they helped me a lot during um, exam studying periods. And also, like, we would make discussion, like either on the discussion board in Canvas, or we would have our little group chat. It's a very friendly environment. There's no like, oh, you're a girl, you're not smart enough. Nothing like that ever happened. Okay, next question. Do you need to get good marks in high school to study math at university? Well, I wouldn't say that it's compulsory to get good marks, but I would say put in a bit more effort in studying math, because it is not an easy subject. Okay, I'll be very honest. It takes time and effort. Okay, I think that's with all study. So try your best. That's my advice. But at university, we have bridging courses. So if you feel you're not that confident in stepping into like tertiary level of mathematics, you can always do like a bridging course in the holiday or in the beginning of the semester to step you into a higher level of math. Okay, how did you find the adjustment from high school to university? Was it easy? Yes, it was very easy. And also I enjoy the freedom. Like I said in my tips earlier, because lecturers here, they treat you as friends, as adults. Well, you are adults in university. So they would talk to you in a very friendly manner. No one push you for anything. And I find the environment is very easy to transition to. Workload, again, you need the time and effort for study. Kelly, what is your favorite type of math? Well, I do love quantitative management. You guys should have known by now. So I put in like quite a few examples relating to it, just because I don't like the dry part of math too. So I love the application of math that I've studied so far. So quantitative management allows you to actually know exactly how math applies to like certain industry and helps you to find like career path. Like I think it makes me feel like I'm in the workforce already by doing the subjects. Yeah, so it helps me a lot and I love it. It's just fun seeing how like cheese factory manufacturer, or like how I manage a timetable for like a printer shop, right? Like it's very fun. Next, would you recommend a science class or course for someone wanting to study science chemistry? Of course, I do recommend. If you love chemistry, well, I loved chemistry as well. I was tossing between applied math and applied chemistry, but I chose math at the end just because of the flexibility. I would recommend you to choose chemistry in high school, of course, and do your best. And also, like, I feel like you can always choose like our Bachelor of Science major in chemistry in university, like to study chemistry in a tertiary level. I definitely recommend, because the earlier you study, you have a lot of like background knowledge already that helps you a lot when you come to like higher level of study. Is there good academic support for students studying math? Yes. All of our academics are nice. So far, I haven't met a nasty lecturer. Like all of them are nice and efficient. Okay. You shoot them an email, they reply you within like 2 hours, I would say. Like there's no delay, and they explain everything in a very clear manner. And they love you to ask a lot of questions. Okay, never hesitate to reach out because they're more than happy to help. Last question, would you recommend a math class course for someone wanting to study? Yes, like I said, the more you study math and science subjects in high school, the easier you will transition into tertiary studies, just because it gives you a nice base. And also, I feel like for high school study, they spoon feed you a lot with a lot of information. You may feel that it's a bit boring at some point, but it definitely gives you a very nice base. So yeah, I recommend for sure. And that is all of our questions. All right. Thanks for tuning into my talk today. I hope it has provided some useful insights for you. A recording of today's talk, including the Q&A session, will be emailed to everyone who registered, and also available on the UTS Science website soon. In the meantime, keep up to date with all things UTS Science by following us on our socials at UTS Science. Have a great day.